What's going on, guys? Kiger here. Today I'm bringing you best build guide for Dragon Fighter PvP and PvE. These will be on my Discord, or you can freeze them as you see fit and go over them later. So PvP is going to look very similar to what you would expect. Just when you first unlock the class, you're on your first read of the skills. It's kind of what you would expect on the first read of the skills, where once we get to PvE, it's probably going to blow your mind the choices that we made. The benefits, the biggest one right here is going to be when your energy is full, Sky Dash and Swift Strike will have secondary abilities. You also have your Roar, which doesn't need you to be at full energy, but it's just on a cast you can do the special ability. Now, in PvP, this does well with Mechanician, Gladiator, or Wind Chaser, and Fire Echo. With the enhanced Wind Echo, this is also an option, just because we can keep using abilities, but Dragon Fighter does want some damage, so let's jump into it. We have our normal PvP fire fairies. The ones on the bench. Ixoria can be good, especially on Dragon Fighter, but the other ones are kind of too good to pass up. You can, if you weren't part of the collaboration and don't have Diablo, Ixoria would be a very good change for the Diablo slot. But if you have access to all 6, this is what I would suggest. For stats, in top league, we're looking at damage increase, PvP damage increase, damage decrease, PvP damage decrease, crit, and pierce rate. So you can also obviously get crit damage whenever you're able to, but it's not a huge priority. Down here, we're looking at slaughter, fierce attack, with break free, which is crit rate, crit damage, and the treasures are what you have come to expect. Attack, crit, tenacity. Now for the abilities, we're using the 2 skills that change abilities once you are at full energy. We're also using this 3rd skill right here, which is a great gap closer and is also a builder, as we talked about in the last video. 4th skill here can also build a bit. And this first skill, not the greatest for top league, but you get more out of it in the other PvP game modes. In top league, you can mainly use this as an initiation or an escape. Against certain matchups, this can be very good, such as against a Mechanician, this can cleanse the HP steal HP steal reduction. It could also get rid of any slow effects on you. You can also just pop it to use it as a reposition tool. It gives you a lot of play in top league. Dragon Fighter is a very fluid class. One of the funnest classes in the game if you just want to experiment. Then down here we have Shrine. Shrine, you're not one-shotting really with Dragon Fighter. With Dragon Fighter, you have sustained damage. So you are going to be jumping between people, taking people from like 40% to 0 out of nowhere. So you want to find scuffles, find fights, and go for the kill. And if they try to use something like a Primrose, a Sakura, anything like that to stun you, you can use your Roar. Generally, or primarily you're going to be using this for knockdowns, because with stuns, there's a big timing issue. If you've already been affected by the stun, it will not work. But if you use it right before it lands, you can actually roar, dash, and get out of the way. Whereas if you want to use it afterwards, if you're a slower player, then you can use roar, to get rid of slows or just as a reposition tool, as we said before. Same kind of setup here. And then same for Guild War. Guild War, you're kind of doing the same thing. What I like, if you want to get the most out of your Dragon Fighter, if you're a defensive player, you can be running between, as you know, the map is 2 for the enemy, 2 for you. You can run back and forth between the 2 on your team and kind of defend both. Or Dragon Fighter is also a very, very good crystal killer. Between Dragon Fighter and Mechanician are the best solo crystal killers that we have in the game. They just do so many skills, so many attacks that they kill the crystals the fastest. If you want to be an offensive one, you can do guerrilla tactics on their side of the board. Probably the most annoying thing you'll ever fight in the game in something like Guild War is going to be Dragon Fighter and a Wind Chaser, which is mentioned down here. Now going into the PvE, which is one of my favorite things we have here. Now with the new wind, I'm going to be doing a lot of testing with the increased level wind and see how this does. The increase of defense doesn't really help, really, so I don't expect a big difference, but looking at it from fire, still have the same class pairings, but up here at Guild Boss, we're looking at damage increase, damage to boss increase, crit and crit damage. These 2 fairies on the assist are primarily PvP fairies, so they're on the bench. Same wills, same treasure. The group damage for crit rate, crit damage treasures, and crit and attack right here. As far as the skills, you may be wondering, this 4th skill right here is a PvP skill, right? Well, how this is set up is if you use this 3rd skill to dash in, then use any order, this 2nd skill and then this 3rd skill, or vice versa, then you will have enough energy to do the evolution of your 2 full energy skills, and then you will be able to click these 2 skills yet again for their base forms, and then be able to use this AoE type skill right there, which is just going to do tons of damage. And what is great is if you set it up on auto in that direction, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, it can play itself for PvE, and it will do beautifully, as you'll see if you test it out. Same thing down here with Path of Fire. This has allowed me to push pretty high above my CP. With Dragon Fighter Mechanician, I can just do tons of damage, go right through. If you're dying too fast, Gladiator is a great choice as well. But just slaughter, fierce attack, break free. With the crit rate, crit damage treasures, it goes pretty wild with just the damage you are throwing out. Same thing for Elemental Realm. Obviously in Elemental Realm, use whatever fairies is most powerful in that realm, such as if you're in water, you want to use as many water as possible, blah blah blah. But that's it for Dragon Fighter. This is the one I was the most excited to share with you all. Let me know what you think down below. Until next time, guys.